Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for the week of, this is for mid-March 2024. We're going to jump right in here. You have this card that says, it's okay to be different. Don't try so hard to fit in. You have this card that says, life isn't a sprint. It's a long race, and you're not just in it to win it. So let's see here. Yeah, there's a new beginning. I mean, every single, I would say that every single reading for Taurus is about some sort of change that you are going through, or something that is going to be changing in your life, probably because there's a cycle that needs to come to an end. And I would say that it's very clear to me for Taurus that the cycle that is coming to end, could be something that's more karmic, or could be a story that repeats in your life, over and over and over again. So, that's going to be different for all of you, of course, whatever that story is. For some of you, it could have to do with love. For a lot of you, I feel that it's maybe financial as well, or has something to do with work or the way that you work here. This is actually a really nice reading, though. I really like where this is going for you, Taurus. So there's a lot of good stuff. You kick it off with the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is out with the old in with the new. So I would be like, if I were a fixed sign, I would definitely be very focused on upgrading skills, being flexible, learning new things, being willing to innovate, trying different things, all that other stuff would be a good idea. I would also say that anything that excites you or inspires you, I would really move in those directions. And it's kind of funny because your crossing energy is the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is about being bold, being assertive, really going for something you want. She's my card of learning as you go. So she kind of has to figure things out in her life as she moves forward. She doesn't necessarily know exactly what she is doing, but she has to, figure it out as she goes. And so for some of you, I feel that with this as your crossing energy, the crossing energy can be what hurts you or helps you. And the Queen of Wands could say that you need to more trust that inner voice. You need to, trust yourself more on like what changes you need to make, or, what things you need to upgrade or whatever. And you need to not care what people think as well. But, I feel that like a little bit of energy here of needing to believe in yourself a little bit more. I think that would be very beneficial. The Queen of Wands, again, it's more, she has to be confident, right? It's not like she can't just be kind of choosing to be confident. She is the card of like really being confident. And, I kind of feel, I really feel that for you, Taurus, in this reading. I also feel that again, I see a lot of success here, even in the area of your thoughts. You have the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups, could be love. We do see love here, and some of you definitely could be thinking about love. We'll talk about that in a second. But also the Ace of Cups is about your time. It's about what provides fulfillment. When you put energy into something, what causes you to overflow? What puts you into that flow state where you could do something all day long and totally lose track of time? And I feel that some of you either are looking for something that can do that, or you have found something that you're good at that can do that. Or I kind of feel like three things here. For some of you, I feel like you need to, it's almost like you need to pay attention to what you're working on, because I feel like you could identify something like a skill, a talent, gift, skill, or ability, something like that, where it really puts you into flow state, and it might lead to a change. Like maybe you have a job and you're really good at a certain part of it, and you realize, I'm good at managing people, but I can't manage my people at this job, so I have to go get a management position. It's like, that's kind of like the message I'm getting here. It's almost like you could be identifying something that puts you more in a flow state, and it could cause a change in your life, or it could cause you to make a change, or maybe not. It could just be making you, again, you don't have to change where you are. You could just be upgrading what you do, right? And again, I think this change, like if you're going from one thing to another, it's specifically popping into my head that way. Like if you're upgrading something you're working on or doing, that it's going to bring more flow, and it's also going to make things work better. So I like that. You have the Nine of Swords in your foundation. I feel like there's this like back of your mind kind of thought where you could be thinking from time to time that something isn't going to work out in your life, whether that's love or money or something that you're working on. And I kind of feel like you need to get rid of this thought, of course, whatever it is. The Nine of Swords is like having a nightmare, waking up and being stuck in a nightmare. So the Nine of Swords is a never-ending nightmare, but it's something that you can change. She has this blanket right here, and this blanket is a comfort blanket. So all she has to do is leave a comfort zone, and she will get out of this, situation, whatever the situation is that she's in. So, again, I feel some of you have to leave some sort of comfort zone. In the past, you have the Five of Cups, which can represent regrets. I don't really feel regrets, but I do feel like there are certain things that you look at in your life, and you're just saying to yourself, like, oh, I should have done this. I should have taken advantage of that opportunity. I should have learned more about this thing and that thing. It's like I have a lot of those moments popping into my head here. I'm not really getting traditional Five of Cups on this card for you, Taurus. So I don't think it's really necessarily like total regret. I think it's more like you are just seeing some things where you're like, oh, I should have taken advantage of this situation or that situation. And, I would just say, don't beat yourself up over those moments. And I would also say that in the future, it's like now you know what to look out for. I think that this is more those opportunities, like little opportunities that you maybe passed up on. Now, I don't really feel like you're regretting it, but now I think the universe is saying, like, you now know what a good opportunity looks like. You now know what, a person who you should date looks like, or you now know what a job that you wish you could take looks like. So it's like moving forward, pay attention to the opportunities that come your way. You have this Wolf card that says, beware who you trust. You have this Queen card that says, love and prosperity. Again, I think that you've learned to be aware of who you can trust and who you can't trust. And this could be bringing more love and prosperity into your life, of course, which is great. I think that this is just talking about, a positive change in the energies that you work with. So, that's good. Next, in the very near future, you have the Hierophant. So you're showing up in a very strong position. You're showing up as yourself, and whenever you show up as yourself, puts you in a position of power and strength. So, and again, I really get this like leadership thing popping into my head. I said management earlier, so some of you could be looking for management or leadership opportunities. But even if not, you could just be taking the lead in your life. You could be improving something in your life, improving a skill, and so that in that way, you are taking the lead in your life. And I get all of that. I also feel that you're like a great teacher at this time. So, if you are teaching literally, or if you're thinking about, creating a course or teaching a course or something like that, definitely popping into my head. I think that could be a good idea. I also feel that your manifestation is like on point here, or you're going to be manifesting very quickly, because we go Ace of Cups to the Hierophant to the Magician. So the Magician is pointing from the heavens to the earth, and he is manifesting, he is like a master of manifestation. He's able to imagine something and bring it down to earth. So I feel for a lot of you that you could be manifesting things very quickly. It also, in the area of your very near future, you have this fleeting card that says you're in a transition phase of your career. Yes, I literally said this. Like I see this as an upgrade in your career. Even if you're retired, you could just be upgrading, like your daily routine, or, whatever it is that you do during the day. And, again, that would be a good idea as well. It says, if you keep faking it or winging it, you will end up going nowhere fast. I don't think this is saying faking it. I think that something needs to be legitimized in your life. I feel like I've said this to you before as well, Taurus. It's like, people used to ask me all the time. I always used to get the question, like, should I be an author? And I'm not saying that you're going to be an author. I'm just giving you an example. And I would say to those people, well, real writers write. So to be a legitimate writer, you have to write every single day, whether your book is successful or not, right? And that's what I mean by making something legitimate. That's like one way to do it. It's like, it doesn't matter if something's successful. To make something legitimate, like if you want to be a writer, then you have to write every single day, even if it's just, a page. It doesn't even have to be a book, right? You could write a blog article or, whatever. It doesn't matter, right? And so I kind of feel that here. But it's like if you're trying to do something, I feel like it's saying you have to do it. You even end with this chameleon card, which says act as if, which I'm pretty sure you get with me all the time when I use that deck. So again, I think that some of you have to act as if you already have something. You have this planner card that says take financial inventory and see what needs changing. So again, I think that some of you could be making financial changes. I really see that your finances are, improving significantly. So wouldn't really worry about it. I think that there are really positive financial changes coming in for you. Over the next few months, you have the Magician. It's kind of funny because I feel like people are going to see you as a magician. Like, I think they're going to see you as someone who has a lot more skills than they thought. Or, people are going to see you as someone who is like much more capable of accomplishing a lot more than they thought. So I don't think like people necessarily underestimate you. Maybe that's like part of it. But, I kind of feel like people are like, oh, wow, Taurus Taurus did do what they said, or, Taurus is capable of creating, what they said, or, whatever the case may be. So, I kind of really just see you in this position of creation. I also always pull the card that the magician is pointing to, which is right here, and it says, continue to make the most of every open door. Yes, I think that for fixed signs in particular, there are going to be a lot of opportunities that come up that kind of, but I almost feel like the challenge for fixed signs, and especially Taurus, is that these opportunities, they kind of look like something that might mess up your day. Not like in a bad way, but just as in they might look like opportunities that are stealing your time, right? So I kind of see that in my head, and I know I've said this to you before, that, it's like there could be, like a person who like wants to hire you for like, to consult for them or something. And it's like, maybe you already have a business and you're like, oh, I don't really have time for this. It's like those types of opportunities. That's the best example I could give you. There's a billion and a half other things that could happen here, but I would like, look at those opportunities. And you don't even have to take those opportunities either. It's like if you have a business, someone wants to hire you as a consultant and you don't want to do it, it could give you like another idea. Like maybe you say, oh, I can't do this, but I could, create a course that teaches people how to do what this person wants, right? It's almost like, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but it's almost like the universe is trying to say, like, the universe is saying to Taurus, I'm not going to tell you exactly what to do, but I will give you clues. It's like there are clues that you need to pay attention to here, Taurus, and I would pay attention. You have the Ten of Wands coming up in the area of your closest relationships. Ten of Wands like a lot of work, but what I would say is that Ten of Wands is rewarding work. He's about to have a harvest. He's about to reach his home in the background here, and so he's carrying those wands, and he planted those wands, and those wands represent a harvest that he wants to have. So, again, maybe, relationships in general, not just love, but all relationships have been a lot of work. But you could also be getting your rewards for the work that you've done on these relationships. In the area of your future feelings, you have the Lovers. Love it. Very positive. Definitely could be love coming in for you if you want it. It could be a fire sign so far. Could be an Aquarius. That's all I see. We're going to clarify. We'll see what comes up. But, it could be any sign, of course. This is a general reading. But there could be a perfect match coming in for you. I also feel like there's a choice that you're going to be making. And it's like you're divinely guided. I really feel the universe is guiding you. I really feel this reading is saying the universe is dropping hints and clues and inspirations, and you just need to pay attention. I didn't even pay attention to this. You have two aces. Speaking of paying attention, you have two aces, and two aces is a definite yes to any question that I have not answered. So there's like a big yes in this reading as well. The Fool is about taking a leap of faith. I kind of feel like you're taking a leap of faith in a new direction. Again, it's kind of funny because your readings always remind me of Leo's readings. And so if you have a lot of Leo in your chart, you might want to go watch Leo's reading as well. It is popping into my head, but what I would say here is that I think that for a lot of you, that you're not necessarily like quitting your job or quitting your business, but you could be taking a leap of faith towards something new, in that you're like upgrading it, or maybe you've been doing things the same way for 20 years and you're making a change so that you can, kind of stay with the times or whatever. And that's kind of like the energy I get here with the Fool. For others, I feel like the Fool is more saying you're kind of making that 110% commitment to something. So maybe you're not upgrading, maybe you're not changing, maybe you're just committing to being the thing that you want to be, which I always talk to you about. And like, you always get this card with me. It says act as if. You get this or the spider. And so again, I really feel some of you need to act as if. You have this, also this card that says embrace the in-between. I think you've been in an in-between time for a very long time. And it's like, maybe you haven't been making progress, or, maybe you feel like things have been going slow or whatever, but now I feel things are kind of like speeding up for you with these energies. So, love it. But we are going to clarify now, and we're going to see what comes up for you here, Taurus. With the Ace of Wands and the Queen of Wands, you have the Two of Wands. It's funny that I said take the lead, because Two of Wands is the card of taking the lead. He needs to take the lead in the world. He also needs to leave a comfort zone. So for a lot of you, I feel you are clearly, taking the lead in life, or you're stepping out of a comfort zone and you're kind of like stepping out into the world. It's another card that really suggests you're leaving some sort of comfort zone. And again, I think the comfort zone for you, Taurus, is, what you've been doing for a long time. And it's like, again, you're upgrading or you're changing your life in some way. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Four of Wands. Yeah, it definitely could be marriage here. Again, you could be manifesting a magician into your life. You could be, attracting a person who's very kind of like someone who's more mutable, someone who is very flexible. It could be like an opposite to you here, Taurus. It's definitely popping into my head. I also feel like that Four of Wands, as I always say, I think that Taurus has a major focus on freedom. Like, I think Tauruses want more freedom in their life, or want to be set free. And I feel you could be really focused on creating more freedom. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Queen of Swords. Yeah, but the good news is I feel like you're seeing what has been keeping you stuck for a very long period of time right here. This is going to sound weird, but what's popping into my head is like those stupid shows like Kitchen Nightmares, or I think that's the one, or Hotel Hell with Gordon Ramsay, right? Or like any of those like businessy shows. They're all those shows, right? And it's like the business owner like never wants to make the changes. And then like once they make the change, their business improves and they're like super happy that they made a change. And I'm not saying this has to be a business, but what I'm saying is I feel like this right here is kind of like is some sort of change that you're kind of, I don't want to say that you're being stubborn here, Taurus, but it's like maybe there's like a little bit of a change that you don't really want to make, and like once you make the change, you're going to be really happy that you did. So I don't know, take it how it resonates, right? With the Five of Cups, you have the Tower. I do feel like you've had Tower moments, of course, in the past. Everybody's had the Tower, by the way. So there's definitely going to be a global Tower moment. I would say around the eclipse. There's always, Tower moments around the eclipses sometimes. And, but global Tower moments. We're in a time of global Tower moments between now and like 2033, somewhere around there. And so we're going to see plenty of weird stuff going on, right? But it's coming up in your past anyway. With the Hierophant, you have the Fool. It's like you're stepping into your true power, Whenever I get like the Fool with whatever sign it is that I'm reading for, like this right here, it just says to me that you're taking a leap of faith into yourself, like who you truly are, and you're probably expressing yourself more into the world. The Fool is really a card of being a contrarian, like not being afraid to be different, marching to the beat of your own drum, going on your own journey. And it says you have all the wisdom and experience necessary to go on this journey, whatever it is that you're doing. But now it's time to kind of like take that leap of faith. With the Magician, you have the Three of Swords. Some of you could be healing from a heartbreak or healing a sad situation, but I also kind of feel like this is saying that to manifest, you have to become from a healed place. And so, that's what I feel for a lot of you. If you're trying to manifest money, you have to heal your thoughts and feelings around money. To manifest love, you have to heal your thoughts and feelings around love, And so, like, I always see tons of comments of people that are like, I want love, but everybody cheats on me. I'm like, you got to change your words because you're telling the universe everybody cheats on me, right? So, I kind of feel that here with the Three of Swords. It's like saying, if you have bad word habits, which we all do, then, it's time to kind of clean that up so you can attract what you want. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Empress card. Yeah, I really feel like you are in a position of receiving. Like, it's time for you to receive. And I really feel all your years of hard work are kind of getting to this place where they're starting to pay off. Another Taurus card, by the way. And so, really, really very positive reading. A lot of abundance coming in for you here. But I really feel this is kind of like saying that you're using things that maybe you used like 20 years ago or 25 years ago. So, if you have skills that you learned many years ago that you haven't been using, it's almost like everything is, coming together for you and all your skills are adding up and now you're getting abundance. But you could be getting abundance from like friends, the people in your life, the people around you, all that other stuff. You could be getting benefits there. With the Lovers, you have the Eight of Cups. This is like walking away from things that no longer serve you. Maybe it's taken you, for those of you that want love, maybe it's taken you a certain amount of time to realize like what you should tolerate in your life and what you should not tolerate. And it's almost what I feel here is that this is saying that it's almost like you have, because I don't know how to say this. I'm at a loss for words, Taurus. It's almost like, you have learned what to tolerate, what not to tolerate. And because you're not tolerating certain things that are not at your level, the universe is going to bring you something that is at your level. That's kind of what I get there. With the Fool, you have the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles, definitely a card of experimentation, taking a leap of faith towards, in a new direction or towards something new, which this whole entire reading is kind of talking about. So, let's see where this is going. We're going to pull 5 main themes. You have this Coral card. I do feel like with the Ten of Wands there that some of you could, I would be careful of people who cause friction in your life. Again, if you're working together with people or if you're getting a new job or whatever, it might be a good time to avoid the people that slow things down or, purposely cause problems is kind of what I'm getting. You do have the Ten of Wands there. in the area of your closest relationships, which can represent taking on responsibilities that are not yours. So, I would make sure that you're not, dealing with people who are causing friction, right, in your life. You have this drama card. I would avoid people who cause drama as well. Avoid the drama queens. You have this secrets card. This is actually a good card. It's a card that says if something is a secret, you need to learn about it. Not like a secret, as in someone's keeping a secret, but, if you just don't know how to do something, or if you don't know how to, improve in business or improve your love life, it basically says learn about it, or anything else in your life for that matter. You have this flirtation card. There is definitely love coming in for you. I feel like this is a new person, someone that you've never really talked to before. Some of you could be quite surprised here is what I'm getting as well. So, yeah, as in, like, maybe you're not looking for love, but, I don't know, sometimes someone shows up and they look good enough where you're like, maybe I'll give this a chance, right? So, I feel that for some of you where it's like maybe you're not necessarily looking for it, but maybe it shows up and you're like, you know what? Yeah, sure. And so I kind of feel like you're in that mode, right? And that's really what I get there with the flirtation card. Yeah, you have this influence card as well. It's actually not a bad card. Again, you could be, I kind of feel like you are, I feel a couple things here. I feel, number one, that you are growing your influence in the world. Again, I believe it's time for you to kind of take the lead. So obviously that would make you more of an influence. I also feel like you could be attracting a person. Either you have influence in the relationship or they do. Or it's like maybe you're an influential person or they are. And so you could be attracting a person like that. I would definitely be careful of like people influencing it. You always get this with me, right? I'm pretty sure it's you because in this deck here, you always get the wedge card. You have this money path card. It says the path with money is waiting for you to find it. Sure, we'll take that as well. But you always get that wedge card in that deck. So I would be careful of like a person who's trying to get in between you and a new person here. It could be like their past person, or it could be like a jealous person or whatever. Definitely comes up for you quite a bit. So, and I think it comes up for Scorpio as well. So it could be a Scorpio that you're attracting, could be any sign, but this looks really good. Love it. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your month.